welcome back to the channel. Thank you to everyone. First off, I'd just like to say thanks to everyone that's supporting me, that's watching the videos, that's subscribing. I really love you all. I really appreciate it. Channel's going along well. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, which I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm working it out as I go along. That's the beauty of this whole YouTube thing. It's for everyone. So even someone like myself, I'm one of the most uncomputer persons around. So I'm giving it a crack and seeing where this goes. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the kev spec and fumblings and failings of me trying to start this YouTube channel. But once again, thank you very much to my subscribers, and to any new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Had a comment on one of my other videos that they'd like a little bit more N-gage footage. So today we're going to go into that a little bit. Now, I am by no means an N-gage expert. There are proper tutorials on YouTube if you want to actually see all the proper ins and outs of the N-gage. I'm just going to give you a rundown on what I personally know, the settings I use, and how my tunes are set up. And I'll actually go through and load a couple of tunes for you to see how it basically works. And I'll also go into how I designed and fitted my own pod gauge. Yeah, so shout out goes to the gentleman that left the comment. I'm not sure if it's a name, it just looks like a quick channel so he could leave a comment, but QWERTY. Thank you for leaving that comment, mate. And here comes your N-gage vid as promised. So yeah guys, if you've got any comments, if you want me to make a video, or you've got anything you'd like me to see, you want me to do on the car, or I can give you a bit of a sneak thing coming up. I have got a dyno coming up in about 2 weeks time, and we'll have the big banger tune on then. So hopefully we'll get some good dyno footage in a couple of weeks time. And I've also got a couple other things in the works. We do have a cruise, FPVGTC has a cruise announced, and more details to come in following videos on that one. So stay tuned and sit back and relax and enjoy the video. Love yous. But first off, we're just going to start with a basic car wash. So beautiful day here in Melbourne. You can't see it yet. I'll show you in a minute. So let's get to the video. And don't forget to like and subscribe at the end, please. And let's get into it. You! Alrighty, gang. As promised, it is a sensational morning here in Melbourne. Hey. There she is. Alrighty. Let's get into this washing, eh? A bit of love. Our G6E weapon. Alrighty. Before we get started, because we know how much you all love it, let's do a bit of an E85 cold start, eh? Why not? Why not? Bit of kev spec action, bit of live action, eh? Let's get this flipped around and let's do this. Alrighty guys, what do we reckon? 1, 2, 3 turns of the key, eh? Let's see. Give a bit of a prime. Another prime. 3-second crank. Not yet. Come on, baby. Oh. Thanks for the drive-by, Jazz. Not quite. E85 cold start and a drive-by by my dog. Hey, oh hello. She loves the cold starts too. Hey, she loves being out here. Don't you, girl? Hey, wanna wash the car? Girl, wanna wash the car? Yeah, hello, hello. Right, come on. this thing a wash. Phew. G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, so this is the FG Falcon interior. So this is the G6E, what they call the luxury interior. So it's got a lot of leather, as you can probably see. I'm just going to take you over what I've done to do the blackout upgrade. So these vehicles, you can't notice it now, from pretty much this area here, from these trims there, and from the dash spears upwards, everything was cream, and a lot of people don't like it. I know I didn't like it. So I'm just going to go over what I've done to change this interior to a full blacked out interior. Yeah guys, so stage one is to replace the roof lining. Okay, now the best way to do this is to pay someone to do it. It's as simple as that. It's one of those jobs where for $199, I'm certainly not skilled enough or know where to get the material, so on and so forth. For $199, a guy will come to your home, they're mobile, and I can't say this for everywhere in Australia, but in Melbourne, we have a guy that comes to your home, and for $199, he fully strips your interior and replaces the roof lining with a quality product, as I'm about to show you. So this roof lining, if we can get in a little bit closer and just have a bit of a look at, you can see it is in beautiful quality roof lining. So this is quality material matched to, you know, the similar trim that it should be. And as you can see, it's all perfectly molded all through here. They've done quite a good job. Now, one of the differences, now this is why the FGs, and also just on this section here, so this is the critical part along the roof, on this edge here. Now this has actually been folded over approximately 1.5 inches, where the factory is cut flush, and hence it deteriorates, wind gets to it, and it starts to fall down. This can no longer happen now because this material has been back folded over and glued on the inside, so it can never come undone again. That's been done front and rear, so both edges are now folded over and can never fall down again. They also use a much higher quality glue, so they come out, remove it all in about an hour to an hour and a half, it's all done. Retrim your roof lining, refit it back up. Now, because I told the guys I wanted to paint all my trims, they basically refitted the interior roof lining, but left it hanging so I could finish off the trims. So as you can see, as we pointed out before, from roughly halfway up on the vehicle, you know, top of the door trims, all the way around, these side trims have to be painted a different color. Okay, as long as the A-pillar trim there, so the visors, interior reading lights, all those had to be disassembled, cleaned, sanded, and painted in that nice black finish that you can see, which I'll go on to later in the video, and I'll leave a little bit of a photo and a description of what products I've used to get the finish that I acquired. So once again, the center sunglass pod and light holder had to be all dismantled. You can see it's pretty much faultless. The finish on this, if you do the prep, much like with any painting, if you do the prep and you use some reasonably good quality products and a little bit of advice, you know, I did ask a couple of places what the best and worst way to do this was, you should get a fairly banger result, and I think this has come up really well. Obviously the center pod also had to be painted, and as you can see, they've all come up with a real nice finish. Not too glossy. I used a satin finish, so it matched the satin finish of the interior, and I think it comes up really trick. Just got to take your time. Yes, there are a lot of little bits to be painted, but yeah, you can see the result. Alrighty guys, same in the back here. So you can see the roof lining, it just looks mint. It looks factory, and that's, you know, for $199, I wouldn't waste your time, effort, in trying to retrim it yourself. So get that done first, and yeah, painted the rear, what you'd call C-pillar trims. Once again, the finish, it's all compatible, it just looks like it's supposed to. So I highly recommend having a go of the painting side yourself, because it's just time, you know. The products, I think I used under $100 in products. So for $100 in products and $199 to get your roof lining retrimmed, you can't ask for better than that. And you know, have a quick pan from the back to the front there. I think it just comes up Mickey Mouse. Yeah, so this is my N-gage on my vehicle. And once again, everyone's different, everyone's got different settings. I do believe these are slightly different US to Australia, and they're possibly definitely different for Asian countries and other countries. But for here in Australia, this is my N-gage, and I'm going to show you a quick rundown on basic screen settings, how I've set mine up, and I'll even show you how to load a tune. So I'm just going to start the vehicle now, and then we'll have a little bit of a closer look at the screen. So obviously, you know, this powers up as soon as it detects an ignition source. You can preset that in your settings, okay? She's still a bit grumpy because she's cold. There we go. So, right, you can see it's flashed there. It's detected a power source, so the N-gage is now reading off your OBD2 connector and powering up as it gets a reference from all the data signals. So it's powered up now. Okay, so on my particular settings, yes, I have an analog boost gauge here, so an old school dial boost gauge, because this gives me the vacuum, and for us old school guys, I just like to see the vacuum. I like to know where things are in that department. Got RPM up here on the top left, voltage on the top right, boost on the top bottom left, and inlet temperature on the bottom right. So that's my first screen. I can go to a second screen here where I've got 6 on the menu to choose from here, as you can see. I haven't set this one up. The only one I really wanted to know about was the timing and the transmission temperature were the key ones for me. Still working this out at the moment, and as you can probably, I don't know if you can notice, it's in Fahrenheit. I haven't changed that setting back to Celsius, but I sort of know, you know, what's too hot and what's warming up. But as I said, this gauge has so many parameters. I'll just go through quickly. So on your display, you've got many signals to choose from. So the N-gage is picking up off my OBD2 plug, the same thing that you plug into for diagnostics and all the other jazz. It reads every single signal, try and say that fast when you're drunk, ladies and gentlemen, all the signals that the OBD can read, and you can just scroll through them here. Now, as you've seen, I've got the, you know, a 4-screen setup and a 6-screen setup, so you can pick which ones you want on which screen. You can have them both on both screens, or yeah, a total of 10 basically different displays to choose from. I've got calculated load here, accelerator position, cat temperature, it just goes on. Fuel trim, map sensor, OBD, oxygen sensor, sorry. Yeah, so it's got so many things. Short-term fuel trim, many things to choose from here. So that's basically how you can set up your different displays on how you want it. You know, different cars, obviously you don't have turbocharger, you probably wouldn't have boost, or it can read E85. I don't believe, from my inquiries in Australia, it's a worthwhile setup. From what I've ascertained, there's an incompatibility between the E85 sensors that are used in Australia and the N-gage. Once again, I'm not a high-tech person. There are people on the internet that know a lot more about this, can maybe explain why, or point me in the direction of the right If anyone does know out there in YouTube internet land, if there is a compatible E85 sensor for the Australian N-gage. So as I said, yeah, you've got your 10 different screen boxes to choose from, so you can have many different views. I'll just get back. It's also got a data log in here as well. So if you've got a memory card in there and you've got the laptop set up, you can data log as you drive through the N-gage. You don't have to have a separate data logging system or an ECU that can data log. The N-gage can data log for you. So you could, and I'm assuming, I haven't used it, but you know, checking trans, you know, maximum boost, if it reached boost cut, or you know, all those kind of things, fuel trims, and data logging that way. All right, also, I'll just get out of the gauge. So this is also a diagnostic OBD2 scanner as well. So just like your basic scan tools, it also has diagnostics in it. So you can go down to read codes. Now obviously this is like all vehicles that I know of, it's typically a key on engine off situation. And as you can see, you can do a code check. It's done a code check and come up with no DDCs, but it does read codes much like any code scanner. So that's a really good function to have, especially at your fingertips. You know, I know when I started this car, I had an old XCal, you know, I just used to plug it in, it was in my boot. So if I had to do some, if a light come on or anything come on while I was driving, I had to jump out, plug it in, scan it, all that kind of stuff. And here it's at my fingertips. So that's what I like about that. Once again, more can be done in that section as well. Getting out of that, all right, the good stuff. Tuning. Now, I've got 5 tunes loaded in this vehicle, and I have 2 valet tunes. So if you take it somewhere, or you want to lend it to someone, or it restricts the RPM. They basically can't thrash your car. I think they're both limited to 3,000 RPM, so this won't even really come on boost then. It just gives you that option. So if you take your car in for service or anything, and you don't want them to rev your car or drive it hard, you've got the option of doing that. So I'll just get into it. Just wait for it to power up again. Stop vid. Stop. All right guys, so I'm going to simulate, I want to change a tune. So let's say car's running, been driving around for X amount of time and I'm not happy with it, or I want to turn it up and have some fun, whatever reason. So obviously everything's running, N-gage is on. Switch the car off, turn the ignition to on. Touch the N-gage, so the N-gage obviously touch screen, as you can see. You want to exit gauges. We go to tuning, load tune. Okay, so as you can see now, it's come up with a selection of tunes from 1 to 7. So you can scroll, I'll go through them all. So that's my Valet 3000 RPM engine cut on 98. 491 big banger tune on E85. 460 kilowatt tune, it says 440, but trust me, it's 460 on E85. 420 on E85, which is about 18 pound, it's as low as it'll go. 407 on 98, so that's the big banger 98 tune. And then 360 on 98. And then the E85 engine cut at 3000 on Valet. So pretty basic, just go through the tune. So obviously I'm on E85 now. I don't really want to swap it back to pump while I've got E85 in it to show you loading that, but I'll load the big banger tune just to show you what's involved. So it's fairly easy. Let's go and find E85 490. There it is here. Tick button. Flash this tune. Hell yeah. This will take approximately 2 minutes because we want all the boost. tells me to turn the key off and then turn it back on again. So I'll do that. It's initializing communication. Now, as you'll see, the ECUs go through its fault modes as it's being flashed. This is normal flashing operation. Most ECUs, or the Ford ones I've seen, will go through all these system faults as the ECU is being overwritten. Totally normal, so don't panic if you see all your dash light up and everything saying fault this and fault that. It is a normal procedure of flashing at least Ford computers. So as you can see, it's booting along there and flashing. This will only take a second. Nearly done. Tune installed successfully. Turn key off for 10 seconds, so we'll do that. And then it says start the vehicle. So we'll just turn it off for 10 seconds. And we'll start the vehicle. We'll press yes on the N-gage. And that is done. It's that easy. So that probably took 2 minutes maybe to load that tune. And that's gone from basically my lowest E85 tune at 420 kilowatts, so up to 493, I think it is. So basically just added 80 kilowatts, 140 odd horsepower to the engine by changing the boost and tune on my N-gage. That would be just as easy on pump, but obviously I'd need to be at the servo. So if this was, I'd wanted to change back to normal pump 98 unleaded fuel, you want the fuel as low as possible. They recommend 5% and under. So try and get it down to, you know, 10, 20 Ks to empty, sort of as low as you can go without damaging fuel pumps and stuff. Get it down as low as you can go and fill it up with 98 unleaded, and same procedure, just go to my 98 tune, load it in, and it starts, it drives, and it's fine, it's just done. And yeah, the beauty of having the N-gage. So highly recommended, very user friendly, and yeah, just a great tool. And I think, I don't know about you guys, but I think it looks banger. Now, yes, I've hard mounted this. It comes with a suction cup mount. Now, 2 reasons I don't like that. 1, it looks a bit povo for me, and 2, it's a quite expensive gauge that someone can just rip off your dashboard and thank you very much. So I hard mounted it for that reason, that it's now anti-theft, so to speak, kept spec style. And it looks really nice. It's really clear. I can see it all the time. And just at the end of this video, I'll quickly go into how I constructed this myself. I'm no professional, but I'll give you a quick rundown on how I made this gauge pod incorporated into the A-pillar. Okay guys, so I hope you like this quick rundown of my interior and the N-gage operation and switching tunes. Once again, I'm not a professional. If I've left anything out, don't crucify me. I hope I've covered enough for you. If you've got any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, okay? Love yous. Alright guys, just showing you a bit of how I've mounted and how I think this looks really nice from inside and out. Probably can't really see. Yeah. I reckon it looks pretty damn good myself. Clears the speaker, doesn't hit the door, it's just functional. Let me know what you think, love it or hate it.
Alright, so this is the 3-inch pipe that I cut and moulded, ready for positioning on the A-pillar. Scuffing up the A-pillar so the glue will adhere, and making sure it's all ready for the application. Cutting out the final hole, obviously for accessibility, for the wires and to fix it. So that's just the final setup. The final cutout and mounting the actual gauge itself. That was quite tricky. I don't recommend it doing the way I did, but yeah. Fitting it onto the A-pillar, so that's fiberglassed on there. Yeah, so it's mounted to the A-pillar, the white plastic PVC pipe. Apart from the fiberglass, it has a screw through each end, and that screw has also been hot glued in, top and bottom and inside and out. And the whole white PVC has been hot glued to the A-pillar, and the A-pillar hot glued to the fiberglass and the PVC pipe, so she's not going anywhere. Very messy, so I highly recommend you get your fiberglassing as smooth as you can. Sanding, so obviously there's a lot of sanding of the fiberglass to be done once that was dry. A big coat of spray putty to get out, you know, the fiberglass. Final sanding. So basically that's pretty much, make sure you pay attention to this too. This is what I used, the plastic promoter. Highly recommend this. I got this from a paint shop. And then your good old Duplicolor black vinyl fabric paint that I got from REPCO. They come up pretty nice.